In example 5, we have about 6 wonderful problems with intersecting lines. So we're thinking here kind of vertical angles or maybe linear pair, something like that. I'm going to go through the algebra fairly quickly, so if you need to pause, please do. As we look at the first one here, A, we notice that 105 degrees and this angle are vertical angles, so their measures are congruent. The angles are congruent, meaning their measures are the same. So we can take 105 and set it equal to 2x minus 11. 105 is the same as 2x minus 11. So we'll add 11 to each side. We've got 116 is equal to 2x. Divide by 2, and we've got x to be 58. We just have to solve for the variables. We could actually plug the 58 back in here. We would get 116 minus 11 is 105, so that is actually a good thing to do to check your work, to plug that x back in, but we don't have to actually figure out what the other angle measure is, we just have to figure out x here. The part B here, we have two vertical angles, so we know that their measures are the same, they're congruent. So we'll set 78 equal to 5x minus 2. Oops, don't need that little degree symbol. We'll add 2, we've got 80 is equal to 5x. And dividing by 5, we get x to be 16. And on to the second group of 2 here. We have another group of 2 to finish after this. This seems tricky at first, but all we need to do is look at what we know here. We know that these two angles are congruent. We don't have an angle opposite here of y, or a vertical angle with y. And so we can't do anything with it yet, but we will soon. So let's take a look at the 3x plus 20. So we know 3x plus 20 here is the same as or equals 5x minus 50. Those are vertical angles. And let's see here. I think I'm going to subtract 3x. And then I think I'm going to add 50. We'll see what happens here. That's gone. 70 is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2x, and that's gone. So we'll divide by 2, and x will be 35. So that might be good enough for this one, but we actually need to figure out y. So we're going to plug 35 back in to this one. And 3 times 35 is going to be 105, plus 20 is 125, and that's going to be your degrees. So if we want to know how many degrees y is, we know that they form a linear pair. They form a straight line, so their measures must add up to 180. And the only other choice we can have for y here is 55 degrees, and of course y would then just be 55. The second one is similar. So we're going to look at what we know. Again, we don't know anything with the y. We don't have that vertical angle. We do here, though. So we know that 6x is equal to 4x plus 16. We'll subtract 4x from each side. 2x is equal to 16. Divide by 2, and x will be 8. So that's good for the x, but we actually need to figure out y. So we'll take 6 times 8 to get this angle. So that angle is going to be 48 degrees, I believe. Yeah, that's true. All the way over. So 11y plus 48 must be 180. These two angles together form a linear pair, so their angle measures must add up to 180. So we'll subtract 48 here. 11y is equal to 132. Ooh, this is a tough one. Well, 11 times 11 is 121, and another 11 would be 132. So 11 times 12, I believe, would be 132. So if we divide by 11, we should get y to be 12. Just have a couple left here now. And we've got a similar situation, but just a touch different with E here, and F looks even more interesting. Awesome. What we know about 56 and 7x is that they're vertical angles. So 7x is equal to 56. We could divide by 7. And we'll get x to be 8 here. So if we multiply 7 by 8, of course that's our 56 degrees, so that does check. This little angle here is going to be 2x, or 16 degrees. And we know that 56 plus 16 plus y, this angle, plus this angle, plus this angle, must equal 180. They form a straight line. So we'll add these two together. That's 72 plus y is equal to 180. Subtract 72. And we'll get here, we've got, let's see, 108 degrees, I think. That should work out. Alright, so those are our two variable values. And this next one, we know that 48 plus x and 64, those are vertical angles, so are these. But 64 must be equal to 48 plus x. So we could subtract 48 from each side, and we'll get x to be 16. This case would also be the measures across from each other here. These are vertical angles, so those measures are the same. So we could set the expressions equal to each other. We'll subtract 8y here and add 24, I think. So that's gone. We've got 60 here. 14 minus 8 is 6, and there's a y there. That's gone. Dividing by 6, we get y to be 10.